Hello. I'm still seeing a lot of things for Charlie Kirk, and I wanted to comment on what his beliefs are. Everyone is saying he's a hero, I, and that they want to take up his beliefs, and they want it to be the beliefs of the country, and that the president has talked about it briefly about making Charlie Kirk's beliefs part of the country. Well, if we're going to do that, there are some things that we need to address because there are problems with some of the things he believes in. Okay, he believes in a husband and a wife and the kids. The wife stays home and the husband works. I love that. I was able to live that for a brief period of time. Unfortunately, with the economy and stuff, it is very difficult to live on one income. So the husband's going to have to make a boatload of money to support his wife and a growing family because Charlie also believed in having a lot of kids. I had 4, so that's fine with me too. So you need to address that. Okay, so how you're going to be able to do that. Another thing is the husband's the head of the household. There should be one vote per household, so the wife really can't vote, but the husband asks how she thinks about it, and he runs the household. Well, I was raised that way, but when it came to the actual happening, the husband leads. My husband was physically and mentally abusive. He slept around on me. He even gave me a venereal disease from his sleeping around on me. I had 4 children, and he let me know that he decided after the 4th child that he didn't want to be a dad anymore, and he left. He dropped me like a hot rock and got somebody younger and prettier who dropped him like a hot rock in about 6 months. So, Charlie, what do we do about that? I followed him. I followed his lead. I did what he said, and that's what happened to me. So I was a single parent. Charlie doesn't believe in single parents. What do you do with those? You lock them up? You marry them off to some old grody person? I mean, what are the plans for that? Because there's a lot of single parents out there, mostly women, some men. So you got to have a plan for that. What are you going to do about the single people? Got to help us out on that. He also believed that people should not retire and work until they die, I guess. I'm 68. I have severe arthritis in almost every joint. I can't work. I cannot work. So, Mr. Charlie, what do you want us to do? You want us to die, or what are the plans for that one? Yeah, I don't. And the economy is such that I don't know how you can raise a family on one income. There are a lot of other tenants. I want to keep this short. I'll do another one going into some of the other tenants that he has. I'm not saying that I'm not putting him down or anything, but if the country is going to run on these, there are some problems with them that we need to address so that everyone can live with this. Like, okay, he's a evangelical Christian. So if evangelical Christian is what's going to run the country, what do you do with all the other ones? The Baptists, the Catholics, the Jews, all the other religions that are here. You ship them to concentration camps. You keep them in cities with barbed wire fence around them. You convert them by gunpoint. I mean, how are you going to handle having one religion in the country? That's a pretty sticky wicket, I think. Even if you get people to say, oh yes, I will be an evangelical, you know that down in their hearts that they're not going to be. So how are you going to address that situation? That's another thing you need to consider. I'm not saying that these are wrong. I personally think they're wrong, but everyone has the right to their opinion. How will you address that? It just becomes, if you're carrying on Charlie's flag and you're going to make sure that what he believed in happens, how do you address that? What are you doing with all these people? Okay? It's something you got to think about. If you're going to carry on the flag, you got to have answers to these questions too. If Charlie was around, I'm sure he might have answers to those, but he's not here. So you need to come up with answers to those, and I'd love to hear the answers to these questions because it concerns me. Thank you.